Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmananji Maharaj, to all the sages and saints of this world, and to you, divine souls, watching today's satsang. Today we will be studying Sutra number 15 from the Sadhana Path of the Raja Yoga Sutras of Patanjali Maharaj. Commentary by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmananji Maharaj, and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started on Sutra number 15. It says, Parinam Tap Samskar Dukhaih Guna Vritti Virodhat Cha Dukkham Eva Sarvam Vivekinaha. Let's repeat. Parinam Tap Samskar Dukhaih Guna vritti virodhat cha dukkham eva sarvam vivekinaha. So parinam means consequences. Tap is feverish effort. Samskar are impressions. And dukhai, pain, gunavritti is functions of the modes of the nature. Virodhat, their mutual contradictory nature. Cha, also dukkham, again pain, eva is indeed, sarvam, all, vivekinaha, for the wise. So the meaning of this sutra therefore is that misery is implied in all pleasures because of the consequence, feverish effort and formation of impressions, and also because of the mutual conflict that exists among the modes of nature. Thus all pleasure are indeed painful for the wise. So this is a deep sutra, and please understand with open mind's eye, not just your ears and eyes or just hearing it at the intellectual level. Try to understand what sage Patanjali is saying, because our initial reaction will be, why is pleasure painful? Right? That's what we would think, because we are seeming to enjoy the pleasure senses. But then if we contemplate on it deeper, you will understand where sage Patanjali is coming from. So it's a deep sutra, and I hope you can hang in there with me to understand the deeper meaning. So sage Patanjali says, just as dust particles that settle on the body do not give rise to discomfort, right? If some dust particles fall, we wouldn't know, just take off our clothes, wash, and we're done. But when the same dust particle comes in contact with your eyes, what happens? It brings immediate pain, immediately. In the same way, while the mind of the masses is insensitive to the perception of pain in pleasant circumstances, the sensitive mind of a wise man, like sages and saints, they see pleasure as nothing but pain masquerading itself in alluring colors. It's just the look of pleasure, but when underneath is a hideous mask of pain under that pleasure. How? Now we will discuss some points that sage Patanjali brings to our attention for why that is that case. And therefore vairagya, which means dispassion from the world, becomes very important to fully understand where sage Patanjali is coming from in a deeper way. So the first one, he says, the following points will give you some insight. Number one is parinam dukkha. Parinam means the result, end result. So perception of misery by reflecting upon the consequences of pleasure. When we think about it. Sense enjoyments rob one of vitality and energy. Though pleasant like nectar in the beginning, they prove to be like poison in the end. That has been also very clearly stated in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna himself. Then it says, Parinam also refers to continuing changes that occur in the objects of the world. How? A baby becomes a youth becomes old, and then the old person eventually passes away, and all objects of pleasure continue to change and are ultimately perishable. This is our personal experience also. So that is called parinam dukkha. The result itself is painful. The second one is called tapa dukkha, or perception of misery due to feverish effort involved in securing pleasure. So we do all this effort we go through studies, this, that, so much effort is involved in getting pleasure. And with great longing and effort, a person tries to secure the objects of desire. Then, while enjoying the objects, what is going on? The person is concerned as to how to keep the object in his possession by warding off any obstacle that might threaten its security. So you have to protect it from, for example, there is so much effort involved in acquiring wealth, right? That's the common one we know. There is much effort in protecting it now from robbers, thieves, swindlers, and then there is intense pain if there's a burglary and your wealth is lost. So whatever took you so much effort now is giving you so much pain because you lost it. By reflecting on the trouble and pain involved in securing objects of such illusory pleasure, one begins to aspire for attaining self-realization, like Nachiketa in Kathopanishad. So some souls are very advanced and some get totally dejected and come on this path where they say there is all pain in this world. Sarvam dukkham vivekinaha, there is pain everywhere. So this is what we mean by tapa dukkha, which means that even though you got the pleasure, but now to secure that pleasure and keep it going, you have to constantly experience painful situations. The third one is called samskara dukkha, and that means perception of misery due to the formation of impressions. Every experience of sense enjoyment creates impressions of attachment in the mind, and that's where it's very deep. Along with such impressions, further impressions of what? Hatred, bitterness, jealousy, fear, infatuation, they all develop. Therefore, when any object of pleasure is lost or when a dear relative has departed, a person grieves through the memory of past joys, because we are thinking of the happy moments and now we are anticipating sad moments. Therefore, this samskara dukkha itself is painful. Now the fourth type is called guna vritti virodha. Guna vritti virodha means perception of misery by seeing the contradictory nature of gunas or the modes of nature. So Patanjali Maharaj says, when sattva or purity arises, one is inclined to serenity, inward reflection, derives joy through the study of scriptures, good association and performance of good karmas. This is why we encourage satsang so much, study, and this is why I call each of my series a satsang, association of the truth. So, but when rajas arises though, which is activity based things, worldly minded things, money minded things, social things, they arise, one is inclined to pursue the objects of the senses and experiences, increasing tension and distractions of the mind. That's what happens due to activity. And then rajas, or when tamas or inertia manifests, one is inclined to passivity, dullness and ignorance, making the objects that seem delightful during rajas lose their charm. So we start procrastinating, sleeping, inertia, all those things are tamasic. So the same object that is delightful and needed in one state of mind becomes despicable in another. So as the gunas continue to the change, the mind continues to pass through its different modes. So you see, sometimes we are feeling pure, healthy, nice, sometimes we are feeling agitated, and sometimes we are feeling dull. So now you can know which mode of nature is operating within you. Is it sattva? Is it rajas? Is it tamas? So by thus reflecting, a wise man is not deluded by the apparent pleasures of the senses. So a wise man is somebody who is going after the real result, not just temporary tickling of the pleasures of the senses. A sattvic, joyous state of mind is constantly threatened by the emergence of rajas and tamas from one's unconscious. So as soon as activity and inertia come up, what happens? Sattva goes down, and that's why in our sadhana we experience so much oscillation. We find it hard to keep an even keel because of the constant pressures from the world and from our jobs sometimes, or from our families, and it's a constant challenge, but we should maintain our effort to keep sattva high. While a person is immersed in sattva, there is always a subtle undercurrent feel of fear and pathos caused by the awareness of the fact that lower gunas are waiting to express themselves. Therefore, this journey is constantly testing your patience and slowly you're evolving. But having examined the pleasures of the world in this manner, an aspirant should develop vairagya or dispassion. But you cannot force it. It has to come naturally from within you when you are ready, because if you pull yourself when you are not fully prepared, you will be miserable. You will not succeed on this journey. Therefore, this is the holy path, and you have to be fully ripe. Like when you cook, you have to eat cooked food. When it's raw, it does not taste good and it is not the right answer. So therefore, you should continue your sadhana till you are ready for it. Keep on building your sattva. He should endeavor to rise above virtue and vice by rooting out the tree of karma and by eradicating the kleshas as already described. We keep on touching upon this. What is our goal? It's liberation, mukti, finding God realization. And it is very much possible. That is what our Guru has guided us. He always tells me, you are the architect of your own destiny. You have within you immeasurable strength. You have all the virtues right within you. All you have to do is focus, get them in by your self effort, and divine grace is continuing to pour, just like divine grace is pouring on you right now to give you this wisdom that is coming to you through this satsanga. So the following sutras focus upon the philosophical insight into pain in order to bring about its cessation. So we will study sutra number 16 tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.